This is IBTV's All Sports Incorporated. I'm Harold Johnson. This is my co-host, Trey Johnson. Today we're going to be talking about the NFL playoff games. We have 2 games left. This is the final 4. First, we're going to talk about the NFC Championship game. Minnesota will be playing at the Philadelphia Eagles. What do you think about that, Trey? What do you think is going to go on with that game?
I think that the Eagles are going to get drugged. Number one, I think we were talking earlier off camera that some of the Eagle fans were thinking about beating up some of the Minnesota Viking fans that were showing up there. So, hey, do what you got to do. But today, Minnesota's going to take it home, and they're going to be one of the first NFL teams to go to the Super Bowl at their own home field. So it's going to be amazing.
Well, you got to remember, folks, they say that the fans in Philadelphia are the toughest fans probably in the world. These are people who booed Santa Claus. So they actually have people have been told that are following their team to Philadelphia if Philly loses, that they are suggesting that they take their colors off because that's the Philadelphia people. But aside from that, we got to look at some of the positives and some of the negatives. On the positive side, Trey, what is the one big positive offensively that you feel the Vikings have over a Philadelphia defense?
Well, I think Case Keenum's playing great right now. Case Keenum has really took that next step. So he's playing amazing. They're coming off the Minneapolis Miracle game. Stephon Diggs is playing amazing, and they're running the ball well. They're really starting to put it all together. So I think that's going to be hard to stop, especially with the momentum. Momentum in football is a hell of a thing. So I got the Minnesota taking it 24-17.
Okay. I have them winning also. The thing is that the only thing that I worry about on the offensive side is if they can get over the miracle. That happened. It was great. We celebrated that. We've got to get on beyond that and stop thinking about that because they're going to run into a tough team. The weather's going to be just a little bit chilly. They're a dome team. We got to remember that they're going to be playing outdoors and they're going to be playing on grass. So that usually they say slows the team down, but I don't buy that because both teams are playing on the same surface.
Same surface.
So it's not going to be a game like frozen tundra. We have plenty of things to keep warm on the sideline. I believe the reason why the offensive quarterback Case is playing really great, but even more than that, folks, is the offensive line has been together. Those 5 men have been playing together and know what each other do. And that's the big thing that happens with football on the offensive side. You can find somebody to run the ball hard, but do they know where their guys are going to be, where the holes are going to be, how people are moving, how they're feeling? So it really comes down to a thing of you start getting a feel for your different people. And then defensively, man, it's going to be hard to find a team that's better defensively than the Vikings. They lead almost every defensive category right now. Yeah. Every single one. And they are really playing hard. They got a beautiful blend of young and old. And another thing that I always think is really important, that's why I think that they're going to win, you have guys playing for Minnesota Vikings who want to be Vikings. Yeah. I'm not hearing anything in the locker room about arguments, about someone wanting more money, about who's getting more attention. Right. They're at that really special place where they really, really want to play. And they have the incentive, too, of becoming the first team ever to play and host a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. On the other side of the ball, though, what do you think is going on as far as Nick Foles taking over for Carson Wentz? What do you think, if any advantage at all, do the Eagles have? If the Eagles are going to win this game, how do they do it?
I don't see him winning it, but I think that the thing Nick Foles was playing well, but Carson Wentz was playing so great.
He was playing amazing.
And you can't help but think if things start to go just a little bit south, they'll start saying in their minds, not to each other, damn, if Wentz was here, this wouldn't happen. They're playing well, but I think they're physically they're a little bit more beat up. And it's that time of year where the injuries really do come into play. But we'll see. Both of us pick the Minnesota Vikings to bring it home.
What's your score? What you got on the score?
I have the score about. I think it's going to be 28 points. We'll win the game. I don't know what Philly will score, but 28 points from the Vikings will win. And there'll be some real good special team stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And guys, don't forget the same thing with the O-line over there with the Vikings. The D-line is a beast for the Eagles, anchored by Fletcher Cox. If we weren't talking about Aaron Donald this year, we'd be talking about Fletcher Cox. He's an all-pro, and he's going to really, really be getting after quarterback today. So don't forget about that defensive line over there for the Eagles.
And talking about defensive line, that's good segue right into talking about Jacksonville Jaguars and the Patriots. Now, I don't know if a lot of you folks know, but this is coming to you from Denver, Colorado. Two of the Colorado high school great football players will be pitted against each other today. Big Calais Newsome, defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars, was traded from the Arizona Cardinals. Just happened to he played high school ball for me. I was his high school coach here in the city of Denver, Colorado. And on the other side of the ball will be one of the best tackles, Nate Solder. Now, I saw him play in high school. He played for Buena Vista High School. Both of them extremely impressive high school players. Solder went on to play at the University of Colorado. And, of course, Big Calais is a Miami Hurricane. But what do you think is the positive for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Well, I think number one is defense. Defense wins championships. Like my dad said, we're coming straight here from Colorado, and I would, if I didn't tell you that what's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars reminds me of what was going on with the Broncos back in Super Bowl 50. Their defense is amazing. They got great play on the back end with A.J. Bowie and Jalen Ramsey, and you got guys like Malik Jackson, Calais Campbell that can just get after the quarterback. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough. I'm more so looking forward to the Patriots game and the Jaguars game than I'm looking for the NFC. I think it's going to be a much tougher contest.
And you have to remember, folks, Calais Campbell, this is his best year ever. He has broken the Jacksonville Jaguar record for sacks, and of course it's the most sacks that he's ever had. Primarily because he's always played in a three-man where he was the nose. Now he's actually a tackle with Malik Jackson lined up next to him. They can't double team him. He's 6'9", over 300 pounds with a wingspan like a 747 jet, and he comes and gets you. So now they have that. Then also defensively, what's going to help them? They don't have the biggest linebackers,
No.
They have really fast linebackers. So any of those bunch receivers sets that they have, and when most people have to bring in, it's trouble to bring in the nickel or the dime, no problem for Jacksonville. They have young kids who can really play, who can really run, and who really hit hard. And then on the offensive side of the ball, they have a man at quarterback who manages the game, but they can run the ball. Big Fournette can run hard, and he's fast. And of course, on the Patriot side,
and kind of talking about that too, Dad, I'm glad you brought that up. I think that's why the Patriots are going to edge out the Jags, just because it's going to be at Gillette Stadium. And one of the reasons why they picked up Martellus Bennett is because they can run double tight ends and just be really physical. I think it's going to be a ground game today. I don't know if you guys heard, but Tom Brady has some stitches on his thumb or something wrong with his hand, so he's going to be wearing a glove to protect his hand today. So I think we're going to see a grinder. I've got the score to 24-17 again. I think it's going to be really close, but I think in Foxborough they're going to edge him out.
And see, I have a little different than him. I think this is going to be the upset. This is one that I'm picking as the upset for the afternoon. I believe that because of what they can do defensively, this is going to hamper Tom Brady. This is the first year that I've seen him multiple times. He always has a meltdown at least once. Multiple meltdowns on the sideline with the coordinators. And now that we know the coordinator is going to be gone, he doesn't have to take that kind of lip from him. So we might see something major on the sideline when things start to go a little awry for him. I see it 3 points. I don't know how many points they'll score, but I see a 3-point differential. I see the Jags upsetting them in this game. It's going to be a super one. This is the game that I think everyone's going to enjoy, and this is the one that's going to be fun.
If you like football, this is the one.
Now, folks, we're taping this before, so we'll see about tomorrow how much we know, and you'll be able to say, well, hey, they gave us a good nod or not. Thank you.